So, as we said about the feeling of being too fast is, we've just discussed there, whichever direction your club goes, the weight's going, yeah? If your club is going 100 mile an hour in that direction and your body's going 20 mile an hour in that direction, it's going to feel 120 mile an hour, okay? If the body's going the same direction, it won't feel as fast. It's like a car on a motorway going the same speed as you. Now you brake, whoosh, it's gone. So the feeling of fast is you hitting a golf ball from here where you get right side. Now as you start coming back down, you're already going to be tipping your spine here now. Whoosh, your head's going that way as the club's going fast this way. Leaning back there and trying to hang on to that goal. You see your left arm there still above the right arm until you release the club way up here because you just fear of hooking it, So the feelings in these practice swings here now, this one was actually a decent move, okay? So if the club is going this way, the weight is shifting. When the club starts going this way, your weight stays there. As the club goes that way, the weight goes with it, yeah? So we watch this one here now. So there's a bit of a shift to the right. You sort of see your shadows moving a little bit off to that right side.
Much, though,
that's fine, okay, that's fine. And then from here now, there's a little bit of a sink there, okay? So you just start a trigger out there. It's a bit longer than you're used to maybe, okay? That's fine. Okay, so we're moving to the right. And now we're going left as we start coming back down. So we come back to impact, obviously, at this slower pace. It's the next one here now. That was more kind of, I've turned and not really moved left, and then as you come back here now, you see your head sort of stay in there only because the speed of that swing is slower. That's what we want to get to. But when you swing a golf club at that speed, if we look at those impact spots there, if you swing the club that speed, what's your impact there? Probably there. If you swing the club that speed, you'll end up like that because there's less energy on you. You put speed to it, whoop, away you go. So you're getting your body to move that way when the golf ball gets in the way. So we're not going to be hanging back. See your feet jumping off the toes there and your left heel's off the ground. You're on sort of tippy toes. Now when the ball gets there, say, there we go. So we move. Have you moved anywhere left in that swing? Now you start moving left as the club comes back down. I bet you never get past that blue line. See that? And that's the feeling of being too fast, you see. Your head at this point, your club's coming down, the club's going in 100 mile an hour, 100 mile an hour, and your body lunges back 20 mile an hour the other way. It's like, oh, hang on a second, that feels too fast. Then you get here in a great position to finish with, you just haven't got yourself to the left early enough to control that speed. And in some ways, your body's a victim of your own club head speed. Someone swinging it slow wouldn't have had much of this issue. And you've got good at just manipulating that club.
So should I maybe also just try and slow it up a bit?
Not when the ball's in the way, no. We want that club head speed. Otherwise, you'd be just hitting a 3-wood 150. Well, it's 7. So your practice needs to be sort of almost swinging at this pace now we've got on the screen. So you get to here now. As you start completing your swing, your weight's going to start shifting and falling to the left, okay? There's a bit more of a tip this way. Not bad there, okay? It's just enough. Could be a little bit more. Now, again, you can go too far, but this movement here to the left, where you can see your body shifting to the left there, needs to be happening before that club starts coming down. So the downswing is being started with the body first, which, as I said before, gives that impression the club is almost not moving, or that it's having a delay or a pause. So as we get to the top of the backswing here now, I'm already moving left, and then the club is coming down, and I get back to it. As I start putting speed on, that then throws me up at the shot. Whereas if I'm here putting the speed on from here to where I'm being thrown back, now it's like reach the ball. And because then you've got to reach for the golf ball because you're hanging back, this position now is going to lead to some thin shots, as we had a couple there, or top shots, okay, or the hook. Or unless you sort of hang on to that golf club and you can't release the club properly. It's a very blocked off shot. And again, on a good day, when things are going well, you probably, with this technique, I reckon, your ability, the decent golfer that you can swing and play to, you probably 6, 7 out of 10 drives are pretty good. And then 3 or 4, and then 4 or 5 are not so good. And if the 4 or 5 are on holes where going offline the direction you have gone results in a potential second shot to the green, you're fine. If it's shung down the lane on the third on the Pendoiling or in the water somewhere, it's like, oh, I lost ball. And that can literally be the difference between 43 and 25. I mean, if you had 5 tee shots that worked well one day, the 5 that worked well and got in the adjoining fairway or were okay, you might have made 3 pars and 2 bogeys. All right, so you've ended up making, I don't know, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points. Brilliant. Okay. The 5 holes then that you had 5 hooks or slices on, you probably had 5 blobs. Well, that's 40 points down to 30, or 43 down to 30.
Yeah.
You've only got 6 points in. Now you're pissed off because of a couple of doubles. You miss a few short putts, duff a few chips. 30 becomes 27. We're then on the same wavelength with just 5 full shots and 3
I
missed
also
putts,
find that you're then trying some challenging iron shots, and then
Exactly,
they start letting go
Of
as
course,
well.
you almost want to play a catch up, aren't you?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like when teams go 2-0 down against the team they should be beating, and they try and check, or 3-0, oh bloody hang on. Just when you concede a goal, just keep the ball for a minute or so. Just don't try and go gun-hole to try and get a goal back. Just, okay, we're our most vulnerable now, I suppose, having just conceded. Just made a double bogey, just make a couple of, in your score, make a couple of bogeys. If you make an 8 or a 9 or a big score, don't try trying to chase birdies and pars. Just go, okay, let's make 4 bogeys on the trot. Just get yourself back into it. So the more those bogeys and pars come in, the further away that big number is going to be, the less it's going to affect the game. If after a big number you have another big number or a mediocre number, you're still on that constant kind of, oh God, here we go again. It's hard to get out that rut.
But this is tricky.
It will be tricky, yeah. As daft as it may sound, the movement is easy. I mean, it's literally, as I said, just literally
it's that
swaying side by side.
It's that middle sector that's the tough bit.
Yeah. And the thing is, people know they've got to get to a certain position, but they just don't get there early enough.
Yeah.
And they're so conscious about trying to do this, and lateral movements often a bit of a scary buzz, or can't sway, whatever. And then we cause the problems that we create.
Yeah.
All right, makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
Good stuff, I don't mate.